Now let's move on to your family. I would like you to talk about your parents. You are the only son.
Yes.
So, being the only son, you think you had a very privileged childhood, or you are strictly monitored by your parents and TikTok also occasionally, as and when it was required. Right? You can tell me about that. Tell me about education and occupation of your parents. Of course, I have already told me about that. You can let me know about your mother. She also took up any kind of job like teaching assignment and things like that. And when you are at home, when you go back home during your semester breaks and all, how do you spend your time? What kind of activities occupy your time when you are at home? Describe me those activities. Tell me, in your family, you may have your grandparents also. If yes, tell me, in your family, whom are you close to? When you have a problem, who is the person you will approach for help or advice? Okay. While being at Symbiosis, Pune, how much pocket money do you get and how do you spend it?
So, sir, starting it off with my family, sir. Growing as a kid, even though being a single child, I would not consider myself to be a privileged child itself. So till date, I am ticked off by my mother for certain things. Things might be very minute, and at that point of time, I might feel that the ticking off was unnecessary. But when I reflect upon it, and when I it's a comparison, sir. When I reflect upon a ticking off which was done 1 year ago or a month ago, and I apply it to these modern day where I am currently at, I do realize that each and every bit of that ticking off, each and every bit of that strictness has paid off eventually. Sir. So I would not consider myself to be a privileged child at all. So second, when we come about my parents, sir, so my father he retired from the post of a colonel in the Indian Army. He was in the infantry regiment and he served at his parent unit was 11 Jaipur. My mother, sir, in her initial days, she used to teach, sir. She used to teach up till 6th standard. But as far as when I was born, and after that, she used to teach kindergarten, sir. Her last teaching was in Ambala in Krida pre-primary school. After that, my mother has been a homemaker. She has not taken up much because she's more or less looking after her health. In my from my grandparents, my maternal side, my grandfather and grandmother are there, sir, and my grandfather retired as a professor from Jammu University. My maternal grandmother, she is a homemaker. From my paternal side, my grandfather, he served as an officer in the Indian Army. He retired at the post of a lieutenant colonel, and that is he joined the Indian Army. Before that, he was a part of the J&K bodyguard cavalry, which was there. And my grandfather passed away 5 years ago, sir, due to age issues. And my grandmother is very well alive, sir, and she's there with us. When I talk about who am I closest to in my entire family, I would say I'm closest to my father, sir. And the biggest reason for that is that my father has always motivated me and inspired me for for whichever and whatever field I would want to pursue. It is not that when there's a negative thought in my mind, when there is something which is morally and actually wrong as well, he has ticked me off. But when it comes to something I want to pursue, my father has always pushed me for it. He's always been a support, but at the same time has also ensured that there is what he has made this one thing very sure. Whatever you do in life, make sure you give your 100%. Do not give up till you are completely satisfied there's nothing else left that you can do for it. So this is something that I've learned from my father and something I hold him in high regards.
So do you really follow this dictum that put me your best, never give up?
I completely do so. This is something that I would say I would hold very close to my heart because this is what he has quoted to me several times that even if there's a 1% fighting chance and there's a 99% chance that you will fail, always take that 1% fighting chance. Never give up because that 1% can turn into a victory if you just decide not to give up.
All right. Good. So that is that. So how do you spend your time at home?
So when I'm at home these days, because I have not yet joined my company, my joining is in July. Usually at home, I help with the house errands and all, but mostly, sir, it is the outdoor work that I am allotted by my parents, and that is driving around, going from from our vehicle to the nearby shop, getting groceries or any of the things that the housework is required.
Now that you've already been placed in Deloitte, in a good company, why do you want to join our in the Gen
So,
branch?
So, sir, like I mentioned, 11th and 12th, I had an inclination towards the legal side, sir. And at that time, I did not give the NDA paper because at such an early stage, I did not want to join the NDA in itself, sir. I wanted to complete my professional degree because of my passion towards law. But while I have a corporate job and I'm really grateful for that job as well, I would not want to limit my experience, my professional degree that I've done for those 5 years. I would not want to limit it just to the areas of corporate law or law in itself. And JAG is something which opens up the path, which gives me the chance to follow my passion, something which I've been inspired from my father and grandfather and everyone who has served in our family in the army. So that inspiration, along with my professional and legal knowledge, is very well applied in the field of in the JAG course, which I feel would be beneficial for myself and my future
All
careers.
right. Now let's move on to your hobbies. You mentioned photography is your hobby.
Yes.
So fine. So you can tell me what is it that you have been doing in your hobby, in pursuit of your hobby. Tell me also, you like to read sometimes some books. Yes. What kind of books that you read? And from the legal field, who are the important personalities who impressed you? Legal field. We have a lot of legal luminaries in India. So you have somebody, you looked up to him and said, I should become like him. Then also tell me about use of your mobile and your favorite programs on the TV. What do you like to watch on the TV whenever you have an opportunity, particularly at home and on mobile? On the average, how much time do you spend and what do you like to see on the mobile?
So, sir, when I'm talking about my hobby in photography in itself, sir, I am usually inclined towards clicking portraits of people, sir, capturing expressions and emotions. And in pursuit of that very same thing, I during my college time, sir, I used to go out on random evening walks and used to see some people doing graffiti on the walls. And at the same time, used to capture emotions because I was living in Pune, sir, Maharashtra at that time. During the time, especially during the time of Ganesh Utsav and Ganesh festival, there's a lot of crowd on the streets. Sir.
Yeah.
Capturing that emotion, capturing those feelings of people is something which I was very much interested in. All of those activities were obviously, sir, done with consent of the people in itself. But again, that is something which brought me joy. And my father had gifted me this camera, sir, some 4 years ago before I joined law school, sir. And I've been keeping and maintaining that camera.
Which camera is this?
It is a Canon EOS 1300D, sir. So it has
It's a fairly okay
yes,
camera.
sir. It has two lenses, and the second lens upgrade, which is a telephoto lens, was something which my father had gifted me on my when I had